I'm Adeline, and I'm 38 years old. I work part-time as a housewife, living with my 10-year-old son, Rick, and my husband, Hamilton, who works at a company. About 2 years ago, Rick, who originally had sensitive skin, started getting more water blisters and eczema. After undergoing detailed tests, it was confirmed that he has a sun allergy. Even when Rick goes to school, I make sure he's fully protected from sunlight. I have discussed with the teachers and received various considerations, such as having blackout curtains installed on classroom windows and allowing Rick to sit in seats where the light doesn't reach to accommodate his needs. Despite not being able to participate in outdoor classes or events, which should make his school life difficult, Rick energetically attends school surrounded by understanding friends and teachers. A change came to our lives when my in-laws decided to renovate their house and stayed at our home for about a month. Although I didn't like the idea of living together, we agreed to accept their stay for just 1 month. My mother-in-law arrived first, and my father-in-law moved in a week later after his business trip. Although I had discussed Rick's allergy issues with my mother-in-law, it seemed she didn't fully understand, and once we started living together, she began to nitpick and criticize various things. One day, as I was seeing Rick off and heading to work, I received a sudden call. "What's with Rick's outfit? It's like he's in a costume, so stuffy." I'm trying to prevent the sunlight from touching his skin because even a little exposure causes inflammation. "If you don't let your children get plenty of sun, they won't grow up big, you know. The sun has a lot of energy." Their bodies don't agree with that. "There have been remedies since before humanity existed. Are there people who don't agree with that? He's weak because he doesn't get any sun." It causes eczema and even makes it hard to breathe when he's exposed to it. It's an allergy to ultraviolet rays. "Oh, looking like that is embarrassing. Aren't you ashamed?" "There's no helping it." "No helping it? Making him look like a laughingstock out of parental ego? Poor thing." "It's necessary to protect his life." "Huh? If a child dressed like that were walking around, it would definitely make people burst out laughing." "I care about it, so please, don't say such things." "If you care about it, you should address it, shouldn't you?" "So, it's dangerous if he exposes himself to the sun. I've explained it many times, haven't I?" "What's that? The way you said it makes it seem like I lack understanding." "Please don't. I'm just saying that people will laugh at him." "He's sick, so it can't be helped." "It's because he avoids the sun that he got sick. It's just the way things are." "Rick isn't weak." "But he doesn't participate in marathon competitions or sport events, does he?" "If he's not weak, what is he?" "It's because he has an allergy." "Oh, I see. Rich people have it good, don't they? Just by using the word allergy, you can easily avoid unpleasant things." "I'm not avoiding unpleasant things. In fact, I'm being forced to endure them. I'm going through a lot of pain." "Play the tragic heroing, why don't you? While I'm here, I'll toughen Rick up." "What do you mean by toughen up?" "First of all, those weird clothes need to be discarded. Amusement park this weekend, zoo next week, to build up his stamina. We also need to go to the playground." "Please, stop. He understands he can't go to such places. Do you want to make him sad?" "Huh? You make it sound like I'm bullying my grandchild." "I didn't say that." "You're implying it, though. Despite how much I worry." "That's why I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine with just your feelings." "Is that so? Even if you show gratitude on the surface, it's all the same. You probably just think I'm a nagging old woman." "Huh? No, that's not it." "What's with that attitude? Don't confine my grandson." "I'm not confining him." "You might as well be. I'll toughen him up myself." "Please stop." While I wasn't around, it seems my mother-in-law suggested an outing plan to Rick, and later Rick sadly asked, "But would it be bad if I went?" When I saw Rick's downcast expression, it felt like my heart was breaking. Rick, who understands his illness, didn't accept his grandmother's invitation. But by declining, it seemed to strengthen her determination regarding Rick. She started saying things like weakling, dressed strangely, and embarrassing. And only listening to what mom says makes you a mama's boy and disliked. My husband apparently got really angry about this and gave his mother a stern warning, but she didn't listen. Then over the weekend while I was working part-time, I received an SOS call from my son. Rick desperately pleaded on the phone that Grandma was removing the house curtains. I hurried home and found all the curtains removed, letting sunlight flood into the house. Rick seemed to have taken refuge in the only bathroom where sunlight didn't enter. When Rick came home from school, my mother-in-law was waiting for him to remove the curtains. Because Rick knew even sunlight through the window could be dangerous, he hurriedly fled to the windowless bathroom and contacted me. Rick had developed a mild rash on his face and was completely shocked by his grandmother's actions. That night, the three of us, including my husband, talked about it, but my mother-in-law showed no remorse. Instead, she laughed heartily and said, "I'll give him a sunbed so he can get plenty of UV rays." My husband consulted with my father-in-law over the phone, but it seems he was promptly hung up on with a promise to talk upon returning home. 3 days later, I got a call from my father-in-law.
"Sorry to trouble you. I'm back from my business trip today. Thanks for having me."
"Welcome back from work. Have you heard from your wife?"
"Yeah, I've heard. She's quite stubborn."
"Could I ask you to say a few words?" Rick seems completely down.
"Whatever you say to her, it's always the same."
"Huh? Won't you say anything?"
"More importantly, what would be a good souvenir for Rick?"
"Rather than a souvenir, I'd like you to talk to your wife."
"What will that accomplish? Does Rick like chocolate?"
"Huh? Oh, yes."
"Other than the sun, any allergies? Food and stuff like that? Are things like metals, dogs okay?"
"Huh? Well, he can eat anything for food and he likes animals, so that's good."
"That's good to hear. Well, look forward to the souvenir."
"Huh? What about my mother-in-law?" 3 hours later, my father-in-law came to our house with a lot of souvenirs. Rick smiled with those souvenirs, but as soon as my father-in-law returned home, my mother-in-law dashed out of the house. Since she didn't return after leaving, I reluctantly contacted her. "What's the matter?" "You can't possibly bring that home." "Bring what home?" "Bring that thing here." "That thing?" "Cats. Bringing that many cats here, what do you intend to do? You're not thinking of keeping them, are you?" "Rick loves cats, you know. I never expected him to bring 5 of them. But they're so cute, right?" "Listen, I hate cats. My husband understands, doesn't he?" "But they're so cute, aren't they?" "I sneeze when they come near. My face and body itch. With 5 of them around, I can't breathe." "Oh, are you allergic to cats?" "No, allergies are for weaklings. I don't have them. It just makes me sneeze easily. Itchy, and I get rashes." "That sounds like an allergy to me."
"No, I just don't like them."
"Oh, I see."
"If you don't get rid of the cats, I won't come back."
"Huh? You won't come back?"
"That's right. I'll run away from home."
Oh my. Please go ahead. I won't stop you."
"Huh? I'm saying I'm running away from home, okay?"
"That's right. Please go ahead."
"Are cats more important to you than me? I'm your husband's precious mother, you know."
"Where does such a person exist?"
"Huh?
"Do you admit that you're a mother who hurts her own son? Too bad. Seems like you won't admit it."
"Hold on. Huh? What's this about?"
"Then your husband, will he forgive you for what you did to your grandchild?" "Too bad. It seems like he won't forgive you. Therefore, a divorce has been decided. You won't have a home to return to."
"What is it? Don't play around. What's the matter? What did I do?"
"You endangered and hurt your grandchild, right?"
"I just wanted him to behave like a child. I just wanted him to act normally."
"This is normal for Rick, though."
But?
I don't think you have any right to make excuses."
"Oh, come on. Hey, what should I do? Is it okay if I go home?"
"There are lots of cats waiting, though." "Oh, but are you alright? You're not allergic after all."
"Oh, come on. Don't leave me alone. Hey, please."
In the end, my mother-in-law returned home, but surrounded by cats, she started sneezing uncontrollably and her face swelled. So she ended up fleeing. Actually, my father-in-law felt angry about his wife's behavior, so he brought the cats over to make her reflect on the suffering caused by allergies. But even so, it seems he ran out of patience with her inability to reflect and decided to proceed with a divorce. The cats were borrowed from an acquaintance of my father-in-law's and returned promptly, but Rick, who loves animals, was thrilled. Since my mother-in-law came, there hadn't been any smiles, but finally smiles have returned. By the time the renovation of my in-laws' house was completed, the divorce had been finalized, and now my father-in-law lives alone. My father-in-law started keeping a cat because he felt lonely, and when he's away on business, he entrusts Rick with taking care of it. It seems like something Rick would do. His sun allergy hasn't improved, but Rick has accepted it as his fate and leads his own life. Living together, which was once so unbearable, has become more positive now that my troublesome mother-in-law is gone. By the time Rick graduates from junior high, he plans to live with his grandpa. Rick is currently very enthusiastic about becoming a vet. I'm Maya Adams, 28 years old, happily married for 2 years, focusing full-time on raising my child. My husband, Carson, who's 35 years old, works at a big company and takes care of our family's finances. My mother-in-law, Sophia, lives next door on our shared property.
Maya?
Yes?
I went to the department store today and bought this body milk. They said it's good for the baby skin.
Oh, I know this one. It's really good, isn't it?
That's what I thought too, since it's from the department store. The one you're using didn't seem so great, so I wanted you to switch to this.
It's actually quite a standard product, not that bad.
Oh, it's a brand called Baby Glow.
No, it's not a brand name, just a general term.
Always using those difficult words.
I'm sorry.
Well, never mind. I'll bring it over now.
I'm sorry. Could you come in 30 minutes? I'm tidying up the room a bit.
Oh, making a mess again?
Well, things are a bit chaotic with breastfeeding.
Fine. I'll watch Simon for you while you clean up.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, doesn't Carson say anything?
Well, I think he understands how hard child rearing is, so he just says to do what I can.
He's really easygoing, huh?
I'm sorry. I'll try to keep things tidy as much as possible.
Well, whatever. We're blessed to have a grandchild born safely after all.
The WhatsApp messages that came almost every day were 50% sarcasm, 30% meddling, and 20% chatting and complaints. It was not exactly pleasant, but I couldn't entirely fault her for wanting to dote on her first grandchild, and it's true, she had been helping us in various ways. Furthermore, because we have 2 separate houses on the same property, we generally kept our living spaces separate and didn't bother each other much. I think it was also significant that my husband was absolutely on my side. However, the situation changed dramatically due to a certain incident. My husband Carson passed away suddenly. It was a heart attack. We were left devastated. I think my mother-in-law's sorrow at losing her only son was greater than mine. Since then, my mother-in-law's remarks towards me have become increasingly strange.
Maya, what are you doing now?
I'm feeding Simon.
What are you feeding him?
It's rice porridge with chopped vegetables cooked for his weaning.
Really? Send me a picture right now.
He's already eaten half of it, so there's only about half left.
Just do it quickly. What is this?
What do you mean? It's weaning food.
The color is totally off. Are you planning to kill not only my son, but also my precious grandchild?
Wait, are you saying Carson's death was my fault?
It's obvious, isn't it? Otherwise, why would he have a heart attack in his 30s? Your management was clearly poor.
Even the doctor said it was strange since he was so healthy.
Shut up! I know. You probably thought you were clever, but you definitely spiked him with drugs.
What benefit could I get from doing something like that? And Simon is not even 1 year old yet.
Enough of your excuses. You're just after our wealth, you fox.
That's not true.
Then start working and supporting the household from now on.
What am I supposed to do with Simon?
I'll take care of him.
Huh?
I raised my son, so I'll take care of Simon. I have way more experience in childcare than you do.
But even if you suddenly tell me to work...
Don't worry, I've already found you a job.
What?
At the supermarket's cash register, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
That's full time.
That's the only kind of job you can handle, a $1,500 per month job.
That's impossible. If that's the case, I'll negotiate with my old employer for a part-time position.
No way.
Why?
What if you go there and a man can do it instead of you?
What?
You see, work is only for earning money, not for doing such nonsense.
I won't do something like that.
You don't know that, do you? Or are you going to leave here?
That's
It's impossible, right? You don't have anyone to rely on. Your parents are already dead.
Please don't say such things.
Anyway, if you want to stay here, just shut up and do as I say.
Although my savings were modest, it was far from enough for a mother and her child to live comfortably. My mother-in-law knew this and continued to demand everything from me if I wanted to continue living on the family property. Reluctantly, I started working part-time at a nearby supermarket. According to my mother-in-law's instructions, I prepared my son's lunch and dinner as weaning food in the morning, and I had to say goodbye to her when leaving him in her care. When I returned home, my mother-in-law would feign exhaustion while taking care of her grandson, but... I'm sorry, Mom.
What is it at this hour?
Simon just won't sleep at all.
It's already 10 p.m., you know.
Did he take a nap today?
He slept from lunch until evening.
Evening? No wonder he won't sleep now.
Even if you say that, he seemed sleepy, so it would be cruel not to let him sleep, right?
Could we try not to put him to sleep after 2 p.m. starting from tomorrow?
I want a nap during the day too, so that's impossible.
If it's earlier, it would be fine.
You complain even though I take care of him for you.
It's not a complaint, I just want to ask.
Do you understand? If a child doesn't sleep at night, it's because the mother is making them anxious.
Anxious?
If he's neglected during the day, it's natural for him to feel anxious, right?
Isn't that because you told me to go to work?
Work is important, but so is childcare.
That's true, but...
It's natural for mothers to have a hard time. At least play with him a bit at night.
But I have an early day tomorrow.
You're still his mother, aren't you? Simon must be pitiful. Oh, what would my son say if he saw this?
Understood. I'll leave it be.
What's with waking people up like that? Oh, no, you're just a freeloader here.
After continuing like this for a month, coming home exhausted one day, I found that my usual housemates, my mother-in-law and Simon, were not here. Where are you, Mom?
Are you home already?
Where's Simon? What are you doing?
It's his debut at a pub.
What are you thinking? My child is only 1 year old, you know.
It's a road he'll eventually take, right?
A pub is way too early.
Such a noisy freeloader.
Mother, you're drunk, aren't you?
I'm not drunk.
You're lying. You're definitely drunk. I'm coming to pick you up, so please stay there.
I'm still drinking.
Then at least return Simon.
This child is my grandchild.
He's also my son.
What? You push off the responsibility and do whatever you want.
You're the one who told me to go to work, right?
Always complaining. If you hate it that much, just leave and take your grandchild with you.
What are you saying?
Just get out. Get out, I said.
Unable to contain my frustration, I searched around the pub where my mother-in-law frequented and found her drunk, holding Simon, who was fast asleep. Since the staff seemed troubled, I apologized multiple times and managed to bring them both home. If I stay here like this, I don't know what will happen to Simon. I dropped off my mother-in-law at home, gathered only the essentials, and left the house. I rushed to a nearby business hotel and took the next day off for my part-time job. And then an unexpected call came.
Maya, where are you right now?
I don't want to say.
What are you thinking? Leaving me at the entrance.
I didn't leave you outside. I hope you're grateful. You were really heavy, you know.
How rude. I'm lighter than you.
Have you ever carried a drunk person?
It's because of the stress you caused.
What stress did I cause?
Just your existence. My son is gone, and why only you? It would have been better if you had taken his place.
Even I. How many times have I wished I could take his place?
It's never going to happen, so get out. I don't want to see your face anymore.
Don't worry, I intend to.
Oh, really? Well, that's a relief. But Simon, leave him behind.
Why would it be like that?
You can't raise him without money.
I can raise him.
Really? Raise my precious grandson in a poor household?
I'll raise him properly.
You can't with that income.
You seem to be concerned about money, right, Mom?
Of course, that's obvious. Besides, I have some savings at home, so that's better for Simon.
I'm sorry, but I have to decline.
Why are you so stubborn? Or is it because you have a source of money?
Yes.
Yes?
Earlier, I received a call from the insurance company.
Insurance?
I didn't know either, but Carson had life insurance.
Life insurance? How much was it for?
$1 million.
$1 million?
Yes, it's for $1 million.
Why didn't you say so earlier?
I just found out myself.
Then you should stay here.
Huh?
Entrust everything to me. I promise I won't misuse it.
I don't understand.
I'm telling you, I'll keep an eye on you so you won't spend it all.
With all due respect, I don't think your financial management skills are reliable.
What are you talking about?
I heard yesterday at the pub. It seems you have unpaid bills all over.
Did the owner tell you that?
They mentioned there are some debts from the past. Please manage with your husband's inheritance.
Inheritance? There's nothing left like that.
You mentioned earlier there was some.
I meant there's a little.
How were you planning to raise Simon then?
You're his mother, so pay child support.
Either way, you were counting on my money, weren't you?
I don't need all of it, just $1 million, right? Hand over half.
I'm afraid I can't give it to you. I think you'd spend it extravagantly.
Don't mess around with me. I even built a house for you.
I didn't ask for that, did I? Besides, you spent all the money on your own place and neglected ours. I covered all living expenses, and that was really the intention, wasn't it?
Enough talk. Just give me the money already.
I refuse.
I'll contact the insurance company and make sure they transfer it to me.
It's futile. The beneficiary is set to me and Simon.
What about my share?
There isn't any. This money was left by Carson for me and his son.
Wait, so what am I supposed to do?
Figure something out, like selling the house.
My only asset.
Left by your husband. You've used up more than enough of the inheritance. Isn't this the result?
You're heartless.
I will return those exact words to you. Please never associate with us again.
Grandchild. Consider the grandchild.
I refuse. I rented a house with the insurance money I received and started working part-time while using daycare. My mother-in-law seemed to live on her pension for a while, but loneliness led her to spend more on drinking, accumulating debts, and getting banned from several places until she paid off her debts. She managed to settle her debts with her meager savings, but ended up selling her house out of a desire for cash in hand. Now it seems she's wandering the streets every night while living in an apartment. At this rate, the day she runs out of money and becomes desperate is approaching. If only there were children, even a poor household would be lively.